All right, our next question, turning now to the fairgrounds. Nashville has a long history of racing at the fairgrounds, but the track is old and in desperate need of repair. Mayor Cooper presented a plan to allow Bristol Motor Speedway to take over the racetrack that the council did not take up. Do you support this plan or something of that version? Freddie O'Connell.
David, the plan honestly never even got full consideration, so I didn't give it the level of scrutiny that, for instance, the Titans deal received. There wasn't time for us to get to an up or down vote. I will say, as someone who grew up hearing the sounds of the Speedway from my parents' house in West Nashville, I think the Speedway is actually a great characteristic of our more than a century-old fairgrounds. I think the question going forward is going to be how to honor the Speedway, make responsible investments, and make sure we are addressing as thoroughly as possible community concerns. I will say for my part, while there is excitement in the idea of NASCAR, we know there are a bunch of different types of racing series. We know that there are a bunch of different types of uses you can do on a speedway that involve the community. And I expect to be fully involved in that conversation and make sure that it's something that fits the fairgrounds as a whole. We know we have a soccer-specific stadium there. We know we have an expo facility. We have a charter requirement to have a fair there that I expect will continue as well. I want all of those activities, including the new park space and dog park, as well as the infrastructure and affordable housing that's coming online, all to be able to peacefully coexist. So I wouldn't say I'm committed to the plan that sort of petered out here at the end of the term, but I am absolutely committed to making sure we have a successful conversation about the Speedway.
Thank you. Ellis Rolli?
Yeah, I am supportive of the Metro Charter Council, which says that we will have racing at the Speedway. Now, how do we get there, and how do we take a perspective that understands how successful economic development deals are done across the state? Look, right now, I think a lot of the tension is around the size of this additional stadium, being 30,000 seats. And that's a function of the revenue bonding laws that the state has. And so that is dictating in some ways why that stadium is being presented at that size. So if the neighbors at MLS don't want a stadium of that size, I think they've got a lot of terrific folks on their team, and we can go and work together and take out of the playbook what Madison County got over in Jackson. A water park developer got $42 million to bring Great White Water Park there, right? So how do we start to say, how can I bring state dollars to bear to do something that we know longtime Nashvillians are supportive of, our city charter is supportive of? How do we rehabilitate the fairgrounds stadium? How do we make sure it's safer and ADA compliant, which it is not? We have underinvested in it and not kept it up. And then how do we bring new technologies to bring the sound down? I am sympathetic and live close by, and I can hear the racing and the noise, but I would also say that if you locate your house next to a train track, you cannot complain when the train comes. There is always going to be racing at the fairgrounds. We can make it safer, we can make it less noisy, and we can also bring to bear a creative approach to make sure that we can do it in a financially responsible way.
Thank you.
I want to get back to the topic of crime and specifically license